having that negative mindset is the easy route because it takes the blame off of you. The hard route is being like, damn all that. This is my fault.
Right.
Like, I'm in control.
Even when I try to pray, I get distracted. Like it's just, it's something I struggle with that I need to work on. Like, I feel like I need to be doing more and I just don't know what to do. Everything I'm doing, like I've been telling you, like the editing, 10 hours a day, planning, research, and obviously working too. And I'm just like, I need to go harder. If you actually really support your boys, you're not going to say, give it to me for free. You're going to give him full price because you want to see your boy win. Do you agree with that?
100%.
So if you're a true supporter, man, stop fronting and acting like you're a true supporter and you ain't willing to buy one shirt or one hat or something like that. Lord, we just want to ask you, please, to bless us today. Help us with the podcast. Give Tim and I both the wisdom and the words to communicate to our audience and so that they can get the most out of it. God, I also ask, please help me personally with my cursing. I pray that I don't curse and that I don't make that mistake continually because I've been doing it and I apologize. But you know my heart. You know that I'm not trying to do that for any other reason, that it's just, it comes out of me. But I ask, Lord, that you help us communicate to the audience. I hope that the audience takes something from these podcasts, these episodes, and I hope that they take something that brings them closer to you more than anything. Me and Tim are just human. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have seen episodes and been like, these guys are hypocrites. And you know what? A lot of the things that I've done personally, yes, it's been hypocritical. But again, you know my heart. You know where my mind is. And you know that we're flawed and that being a human is a struggle. But at the end of the day, it's all about, as Tim said, consistency and trying and putting in the work every single day. And being a Christian takes work. It's not all about just faith and sunshines and rainbows. It's actual active work. So Lord, help us with today's episode. Allow us to communicate well. Allow the audience to enjoy it, take from it. And if it's according to your will for this to go somewhere, I ask that that be the case, Lord, but always according to your will, never according to ours. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Welcome back to the Clear Views podcast, guys. Where culture meets conversation. It's your boy Bishki Baby and the flyest white guy in the business, Mr. Tim Big Daddy Simmons.
Good.
How you doing, Tim?
Good, my friend. How are you?
How's everything on your end of life?
It's been a lot of stuff going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything in particular?
Nothing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going, but
like work-wise or personal-wise?
Yeah, work-wise. Yeah,
okay.
Work-wise stuff.
But good stuff, right?
Yeah, some good and some bad.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
Yeah, but we're okay. That's part of being a business owner.
Right.
You gotta
deal
with some issues that come up.
Yeah.
So as they come up, you gotta roll with them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Today's episode is interesting. We have 3 major topics.
Before we get into that, how are you liking the new job?
Oh man, it's definitely a lot of work, and it's very interesting. It's super cool. It's a renewable energy company. I don't want to like saying names. I'm not trying to lose the job before I start it, but it's a renewable energy company, and they're doing really big things, and they have really big investors actually that just recently came in. I am curious though, and it kind of correlates to the subject matter today because we're talking about the 3 Ps, and that's politics, P. Diddy, and personalities. And as far as politics go, specifically this new big beautiful bill,
right?
I did read something about how, and maybe you can clarify this for me, there's going to be more of a focus in fossil fuels, and he's going to roll back some of this renewable energy funding and like the tax credits. Now, the tax credit thing, I think affects only like residential, like the 30% tax credit for if you get solar.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I am curious how it's going to affect.
It's going to have subsidies for extra cars too. I think it's going to.
Oh, like buying cars in the US, you get a little incentive.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I think it's going to affect subsidies for that government is paying like electric vehicles.
Okay.
Companies to, try to push out their, they get a subsidy if they sell a car for X amount of dollars, they can get a subsidy to kind of like.
Oh, so he's not taking that away?
No, I think he's taking that away. Yeah.
Oh, he is going to.
Yeah,
okay,
I
got you.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just curious because I'm like, crap, bro. I just got into this field, and what if this is like what ends it or like limits like where they have to like roll back and like lay off people?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see that happening.
And obviously, it's not going to happen anytime soon. These things take years.
Yeah,
to develop.
for sure.
I
I mean, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I think the renewable energy stuff is a good way to go.
Yeah.
I don't see it like replacing fossil fuels in the near future.
But what about the idea of fossil fuels being finite? Like they're not endless supply.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. But they say we still have, over 100 years.
No, I'm sure.
Longer,
yeah.
for like way longer than that.
Right.
Fossil fuels, available.
Right.
And so, and as technology changes, fossil fuels are going to wean themselves out.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think that they're going to be the
but it's going to be some
forever.
time from now.
Yeah, I don't think, you have to wean it. You have to come up with something that's actually viable for the entire planet.
Yeah.
If you stopped all fossil fuels today, like millions of people would die.
Mhm.
Like this is what heats, cools, feeds. This is what every economy in the world run off of fossil fuels.
Yeah, for sure.
So
there has to be a transition phase.
Ridiculous to say, oh, we just got to stop it. Like it's dumb. There has to be
it's not realistic.
a realistic transition phase.
Yeah.
But it also has to be a money transition phase. Like there actually has to be an incentive for that other fossil fuel or that other fuel source to like be the primary.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now let me ask you this because it's I want to play both sides because I can imagine what one side how they view it and I can imagine how the other side views it. The aspect of this taking place, like the big beautiful bill, every aspect that has been like highlighted, like some of the key points, which are the bill is going to offer tax cuts versus public cuts, short-term gain versus the long-term gain. And what does it obviously mean for like the typical American? I saw a video yesterday, I think I sent it to you, about some of the highlighted points, like increase in like the child tax credit. I think the increase in the SBA loan from 20% to 23%. Obviously the cutbacks on Medicaid. I think that's obviously like one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. Can you kind of maybe explain that for the audience, like the effect of that?
Well, I think it's going to so one of the things is it takes working adults that are capable of working and working age people. And it's saying like, hey, you're limited on the amount of benefits you're able to get. Like you need to go get a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is huge. I mean, people don't need to be just milking the system.
Right. There's a ton of people that do.
You don't want to just be continuing to pay for these people.
Yeah.
So I think that makes total sense, Also like the no tax on tips, no tips on overtime.
Yeah, baby. That's
I mean, they are limited
Yeah.
on certain dollar amounts. I mean, I can't remember the dollar amounts off the top of my head.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow,
So there are limited, like I think it's like 12,500 or 25,000 or something like that of like overtime dollars.
So once you hit that threshold, after that, it is
taxed on it.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
But that there is a
which is still a benefit. Yeah,
it's
for
a
sure.
huge benefit.
Big,
because probably a lot of people still don't fall above that.
Yeah.
And if you do, then it's like it's quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, especially if you're making 40 grand a year and you could actually add another, 15 grand untaxed, like that's pretty big.
No, that is
Pretty big.
big time
dollar amount. So there's stuff like that. I mean, I like the bill. The one thing I really need to do, one thing I want to do more research on is the effects that it had on gambling.
Yeah.
Because I was, before it, I was looking a lot on that.
Yeah.
But I don't recall reading that in the bill.
Right.
About the effects that it's going to have on the gambling community.
Yeah.
I'm not a gambler, so I don't really care.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't think that should be, affected.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in what they did with the 2A.
What's that?
The suppressor and
the SBR thing.
the
Yeah.
SBR and the suppressor acts.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's like one the SBR Act and then the other one is like the Hearing Act or something like that. And so both of them stayed illegal.
Yeah.
And
that
ATF
was
is still going to be able to regulate those.
And that was officially, you're for sure that was in the bill, because the reason why I asked,
100% originally in the bill.
Okay, because I was talking to actually a buddy of mine, shout out David Farah. I was talking to him on the way down here, and we were actually communicating about that because he's a gun owner too, and he's put me on game because I was asking him about California is a may issue or shall issue. I think it was. Remind me again, David. Yeah, but he was saying that now it's a shall issue, like meaning like you can for sure get it or something like that.
You're for CCW?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is now. Yeah, okay, it's illegal for them to deny it or like be like, oh, it's going to take 2 years to get it or stuff like that. They actually have to issue you these. Yeah. But at the same time, like the SBR and the Suppressor Act or suppress, these type of things in it, they did take the tax away from it, but that's only like, it's like a $200 tax that they did above and beyond the purchase of it. So like in Arizona, you could buy a suppressor, right?
Yeah.
And with that suppressor, they had a $200 tax that directly went to the ATF, which was, the regulating body of that. But, so that tax got reduced to zero, but it's like, but in states like California, those items still are illegal. So you're not allowed to have an SPR or a suppressor.
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect those things. On the original act before, or the original bill before it went to it got talked about in the House, then it went to the Senate, it got passed. But once it got into the Senate, they argued those 2 points out. So the suppressor and the SBR, those things out. And they just argued the tax. So they found that the tax was unconstitutional. And then, so that all happened. And then when it went back to the House, when it passed at the Senate, that had already been taken out. And then the House confirmed it. So these things happened, right? But yeah, those things got taken out.
Yeah. One thing I have noticed too is there's been a lot of like, at least what I've seen on the internet, there's some, personalities out there that are like known Trump supporters, right? And they have expressed like, oh, the bill overall, there's a lot of good things, but there's also some things that they don't like or they don't agree with. Kind of like how you said, like, hey, there's some things that you don't like, right? Yeah. And the one thing I admire about that is, with a lot of the things that I see on the left-hand side, they're like, oh, how can you say you support Trump, but you disagree with these things? And it's like, dude, that is like a mature adult feature. Like just because we're friends and I support you and you support me, right? It doesn't mean that there might be something that you say or you view on that I maybe don't agree with, and that's okay. And I can still be supportive of you and still be your friend and just be like, hey, we don't see eye to eye on this thing, but everything else we're good on, right? And that is an adult thing, but it's just like do or die. And it just drives me, it just blows my mind that they're just like, oh, it's either all in or all out on Trump. And it's like, no, dude, just because I like him and just because I think he's a good president doesn't mean that every little thing he's going to do that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Absolutely. Yeah. One of the biggest things I think I hate about this whole political thing is I would really, really wish they would do single voting bills instead of these big omnibus bills where it's like, it's 1,000-page bills where like nobody's reading it. No. It's little things are thrown in there for all. Too, that's just, it's all, I mean, to me, that's just straight up corruption on all levels. So again, let's be honest. Like I like Trump a lot. Yeah. Is he a politician right now? Is he playing the game? He has to like give and take, so he wants these things. And for him to get those things, he's having to like compromise and give these other things. Right?
Exactly.
So this is kind of how this works. And this is what happens in those bills where they get these compromises of saying that I want this. Okay, well, if you want that, then I want this. Yeah. And so everyone puts into the pot. Right. And then you end up having this giant thing. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I don't like that at all. Yeah. I think that's bad for the country. Yeah. That's more, everyone is just working for their constituents. Yeah. As far as like, and when I say constituents, I don't mean, not even constituents, I'm sorry. They're donors. That's what all of these bills are really about, are more the donors, not their constituents. Yeah. It's not their people in their districts. Yeah. It's mostly people that have given them money. Yeah. And that's where I really don't like it. Yeah. So I wish they would do like a single voting, like, hey, let's vote on this one bill on the suppressors. Let's vote on that. Right. Not even with the not even with the SBRs. Yeah. Just on the suppressors. Right. Let's vote on that.
One at a time.
Yeah. Let's vote on this one. Let's vote on this one. Let's vote on this one. Yeah. And then once they could do that, then you could really see where people stand on stuff. Right. Right. But they'll never do that because that's when you lose the compromises. Right. And you lose leverage as doing those things. Yeah. So it's a political game of all of this, and
Yeah.
it's dirty, and it's not what's good for us. I don't
Right.
think,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you ultimately think that the reason why they don't do it like that is just like it's a time and efficiency thing because it would just take too long?
No, absolutely not.
Mm.
They don't give two shits.
So it's just because ultimately I know for a fact what they do is they'll come up with these bills. There's going to be one major highlighted point that is like captures the people's attention.
Yes.
And then underneath it, because it is 1,000 pages, they're like on page 622, there's also a thing that's like, oh, we're also going to do this and this. And it's just like something major that we have no idea about because no one's going to take the time to read it all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you come to find out 6 months later when X law changed and you're kind of like, what's up with this? Oh, no, that was in the big beautiful bill that you voted for.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
that you supported.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the, I didn't know that was in there. Like, what are we talking about?
Do you think it's on us to do the work and actually review it and actually take the time to read it all? Or do you think it's just on them like, yo, morally, you
well,
guys
it can't be. I mean, yeah, I guess it's on. Look, at the end of the day, it's always on us.
Yeah.
Like, we're the ones voting for these fools in.
Right.
We're the ones doing everything.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's always on us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like when I say us, at the end of the day, it's always on me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can only do what I could do. Like, if I could sit there and bitch about everybody else, like you should have done this, or we as a people should have done this. If I didn't even do it as an individual,
how can I?
Like, how am I going to sit there and say that everybody should be doing stuff? You know? Yeah. And but that's part of it. You know, they do things that people like me and people like everybody we're busy. We're not in the positions of this. So and this is what kind of our elected officials are supposed to be doing. You know, we're supposed to be electing these people that we trust to be making the decisions for us. And we're giving them this, you know, this power.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the reality is they're getting up saying stuff to us that we want to hear.
Of course.
Agreeing with things that we agree with also. But the game of politics is a lot different than just standing up there and saying, hey, we're going to lower taxes and we're going to make you have, you know, more money for your family, and we're going to lower egg prices and all this other stuff. No, they're having to, like, you know, deal with this lobby group and that lobby group and, you know, all the money that they actually get as an individual to even get elected, to go up on stage and say whatever they need to say. They need money to do all that, to put the billboard up, to do all these things.
Yeah.
That's not coming from us.
No. Yeah.
That's coming from lobbyists.
Right.
And those lobbyists are very powerful.
Yeah.
They're getting all this money for these guys.
Oh yeah.
And bro, it's
wild.
It's super wild.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think they capitalize on it, and they know that. They're like, these people aren't going to sit there and read these bills, so we're going to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Speaking of power and corruption, what are your thoughts on the whole Diddy trial situation?
Oh man, I think he's just gonna. You think he said it's 4 to 5 years, maybe? In prison back.
So he's looking at 4 to 5 years, but more than prison time. Obviously, the legacy that he's like. Do you think he's going to rebound from this?
He's already ruined his. No.
Yeah. No. If he does, wow.
No way.
Wow.
No one in the youth think this guy is cool at all.
Yeah. Oh, but did you hear about the fans outside when they announced it? They were pouring baby oil on themselves.
Yeah. But how many is that?
I hope not many. I just saw one, to be honest.
There's going to be any super fans of anyone, right?
Right.
You know, serial killers got super fans. You know
No, that's true. So, that's very true.
Like, the fact that he's got super fans,
you
know, that want to be rubbed with baby oil by this stupid fool. Yeah. Like, hey, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But, bro, where are his fans at?
Yeah.
The celebrity is kind of gone.
Yeah.
Like the celebrity. Like
that's gone.
You know what I mean? It's kind of a wrap.
Yeah.
Like,
especially with influencers now. Yeah.
Bro, the influencers
it's like altered it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no more real celebrities.
Right.
Even most, if you have a poppin' song, nobody's really looking at you like, they're just like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
for today, tomorrow's gonna be someone else.
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody else. Nobody really cares anymore. More people care about the influencers.
Yeah.
More people care about just the online stuff.
Right.
And so the movie stars and all this other stuff, I mean, it's all on the way.
No, it's definitely been diminished.
So as far as his legacy, like, bro, I think everyone's legacy is kind of like, it's pretty, like, Trump's got a pretty good legacy he's working on right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's something that's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people like Jordan, he has great legacy. Like, these people have good legacies that I think would be hard to ruin.
Kobe too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, man, I just think I don't think he's got a legacy to stand on. Yeah. I mean, I think he's
tainted for sure.
For sure.
I mean, at least in my opinion, obviously in yours as well. But I'm just very
also, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, that's true, man. There's just so much, dude. I cannot stress this enough, man. Ever since I've started this with you, my attention span has evaporated.
Yeah.
And like, I'm telling you, bro, like, especially when I was going through my little rough patch, right? I did not go on my phone at all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any need. I didn't post on social media, and I didn't really talk to people. I wasn't like dating anyone or anything like that.
Sure.
So my life consisted of working, doing what I was doing, and watching documentaries. And I had the attention span to watch documentaries.
Sure.
Now I try to watch one. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And dude, this is literally an addiction.
Oh, it is.
I can't stop.
Yeah.
I'm always double checking. I'm like, okay, how are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, how are we doing? I'm just like, all right,
yeah.
sorry, watch the documentary. But let me check real quick on TikTok. Let me see how we're doing.
That's
Bro,
hilarious.
it's just wild.
Yeah.
It's so wild. And now I see it. Like now I get why they say like everyone's on their phones. Like when I was going through that time, I was like, I'm not on my phone.
Yeah, right.
Bro, you could, and I can prove it. You could look at my screen time and it was like 3 minutes for the week on Instagram. And it was only when I was like going to the bathroom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
like out of boredom. But now, oh my God, it's like 9, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. It's wild. And I hate it because I don't want to be that way. But I'm also like, it's low-key my business now too. Like I have to low-key do it. You know what I mean? So you don't seem like you're on your phone too much, right? How are you?
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh, do you?
I
Okay.
watch a lot of YouTube.
Okay.
I watch a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of
Specifically on your phone or at home?
On my phone, yeah.
Okay.
I watch it at home too, but 99% it's on my phone.
Do you watch it on your TV at home or on your phone?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah.
I drive a lot, so I really watch a lot of stuff, on my drive,
driving,
on my commutes,
Yeah.
So that's where I just
Yeah.
kind of zone out and do that.
Yeah.
But I have been noticing that on my morning drives, I try to spend a lot more time just being in silence.
Mm-hmm.
So like, being disciplined enough to put my phone away, especially on my way to work. It's about an hour and a half drive.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of prepping my mind on the way to work, not getting distracted with all the nonsense.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is nonsense.
It is, dude. It's such nonsense.
So I try to do that. And I notice that I am much more productive when I do that.
Yeah.
I'm in a better mood. And I'm just more focused when it comes to like, what I need to do each day.
Yeah.
Because I'm prepping like, okay, my mind's going off on like, okay, what do I need to order material? Like, what are the tasks of the day? All these different things.
Yeah.
Where when I'm on my phone, I'm just gonna kind of zone out into whatever the subject is. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, there's, the structure underneath the pyramids. And it's like, oh my gosh, I got to figure this out. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
that's how they hook you. Yeah.
Who really cares? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
like,
straight up, dude.
Like focus on me. Like if I could, so I really tried to get into the thing of where I put a limit on my phone.
Oh, nice.
It's like 3 hours for all.
Is that like a thing that you can do?
Yeah, you can do it on your phone. Yeah. You just limit.
Like the iPhones allow it?
Yeah.
Or is it like an app you download?
No. It's just like
You're
in
gonna
the
have to show
settings.
me how to do that.
Yeah, it's dope.
And then I'm gonna look how to disable it.
So like in the parental controls type thing.
Oh,
right?
okay, got you.
So I go through and I just, I actually gave my wife the passcode, so I can't even have it.
Smart.
So it limits like, how often once my 3 hours hits, then I'm kind of like, all right.
Oh, that's why you don't answer my phone calls.
Yeah, sometimes.
Just joking.
No, it's not with the phone calls. It's just with the
just the like social media. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
so it
that's
limits
smart,
it, and then that way I'm like, all right. If I can't learn everything I need to, or if I can't get whatever information in 3 hours,
then it's not. Yeah, I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to keep checking it. I don't need to keep doing these things because I'm really been focused on, for one, like getting my mind into strengthening my mind. Really, that's been really important to me lately. And then,
what are you doing to do that?
A lot of sitting in silence.
Okay, so
sitting
kind of meditating.
Has been really big. Yeah, just letting my mind go, focusing on where my mind's going.
Okay,
constantly. Like, okay, why am I having these thoughts? Why am I, whether it be negative or positive? Right. Why am I choosing boredom out of, actually doing what I need to do?
Yeah.
Why am I choosing complacency out of like being focused?
Right.
Dude, try to focus on nothing.
Impossible.
But
for me, at least,
you
impossible.
Force yourself to focus on nothing.
Yeah.
Like this is how I literally fall asleep every night.
Yeah.
When I'm closing my eyes, I just recite the word like mindfulness. And so, or think of nothing, or just think, just the second a thought comes out, like, if, I'm sitting there trying to say mindfulness, just think of nothing. And as I'm trying to, like, I'll do that for a little bit. Right. And then all of a sudden a cloud of a cloud of a thought comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, you got to do this tomorrow.
Right.
You got to do that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you fucked up on this work today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said you were going to do this today and you didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I'll try to recognize like, hey, not right now.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
We'll think about that later. Let's go back to mindfulness.
Yeah.
And then another thing people do is like start thinking about your breath. Like focusing
breath
on,
work.
pulling the air in through your nose,
Right.
Through the tip of your nose, or, where the air comes in.
Yeah.
Focus on your stomach or your chest, like expanding.
Moving.
Focus on those things.
Yeah.
What I heard something good. It was the other day. It was about your breath is the only thing that is automatic and controllable.
Oh wow.
Right.
That's true.
So
too.
it's like, and almost everything comes from the breath. Like when you're nervous, you start to, breathe a little heavier.
Right.
When you're calm,
right.
like you don't even think about your breath. It's very relaxed and balanced. Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff comes from the breath. Right.
Yeah.
And so just being conscious of that,
Yeah.
Not being just letting my mind run, being in control of my mind and how it's running.
Yeah.
And choosing when it can just hey, free for all.
Right.
Like a lot of times on my way to work, like I'll start in the morning of controlling it.
Yeah.
And then I'll give it a while of just let it free. I'll just let it run how it wants to run.
Right. Right.
And you learn a lot about it when you just turn everything off and you just focus on what your mind's doing.
Yeah.
It's super interesting.
Yeah. I need to definitely start doing that because I am, like you said, like if you told me like, hey, Bishoy, clear your mind. I'm like, how, bro?
Yeah.
I can't. There's no way, dude. As soon as I try to do that, something comes in and it's like, I know it's Satan, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it is.
Even when I try to pray, inappropriate
100%.
thought.
100%.
I need to do this.
Yes.
Oh, I get distracted. Like it's just, it's something I struggle with that I need to work on. And obviously just like you said, it's like the breath work and it's breath work. It takes work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's not something that we can just master. I don't think at least right away, it's going to be something where you have to put the reps in, you have to focus on it. And I also tell myself kind of like how you mentioned earlier, don't get discouraged with the result not being what it should be now.
Absolutely.
So even if I'm trying to do that, say tonight, and I fail at it, I shouldn't just be like, all right, well, I can't do it, obviously.
No.
It's like, dude, I got to put in the reps. And even with things that fitness wise or even business wise, I've had a pretty, decent transformation. I was 340 pounds and now I'm down to whatever, right?
Big time.
And I've been working out. I've never worked this hard in my life in the gym and just in a passion project like this. And I keep telling myself, I'm like 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
8 years for my body, 8 years for the thing. So I keep trying to tell myself that. So I'm just like, dude, you're only 3 months in. 8 years, remember?
Right.
8 years, remember?
Right.
So it's something I just have to keep on reminding myself of. But obviously, as humans, we're flawed, we're weak, and we get impatient with the result. We want it now. We want it now. We want it now. And that's why I think a lot of people struggle with things like porn or drugs or gambling because they're looking for a result now.
Yeah.
Immediate, and especially with the social media crap, it's rewiring our brains for sure. I'm telling you, I had an attention span 3 months ago. 2 months now, I do not have it. It's gone. It's immediately gone. It's just wild to me. It's just crazy.
But getting that back, but not in a way that you had, where it's because you were kind of being distracted by obviously other things, right?
Yeah.
So we change one vice for another. So it, even with that, I would say most people don't take the time to actually I like a thing. It's called mastery. Okay. Using that word I find to be super empowering.
Right.
Is what does that really mean? And it's becoming I always look at it a doctor puts in the 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Or any professional is really the 10,000 hours. Right. And that's kind of what I find to be the mastery points.
Okay.
Right. And that's in almost anything, whether it be in your body, how it works, what makes your body grow and different from mine. You have to focus on what are the foods that you intake that make it change?
Right.
What are the exercises and the type of exercises that make your body change?
Right.
Because you might be doing calisthenics and I might have to do heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Or I might have to do endurance stuff.
Because your body responds better.
Responds better to those items, right? And it's just because we all grow
are
completely
unique.
different, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with people are vegans, get great results. People
Right.
who are meat eaters only
Right.
get great results.
Right.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
You know, like my
It's about
body, I
finding what works for
recognize keto works probably best for me.
Okay.
Like a clean keto.
Yeah.
Not like cheeses and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Like talking avocados,
Right.
fish, nice olive oils.
Yeah. Good fats.
And high proteins.
Right.
You know, those change my body well.
Yeah.
High carbs and high sugars like devastate my body.
Mhm.
You know, and that's my biggest thing is sweets.
Yeah.
Like, I like sugary things.
Yeah. Oh, I know it.
You know,
I know it. Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And but you know, just being kind of aware of those things, right?
Yeah.
But mastery I find to be super interesting for me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's one of my favorite things to like.
Yeah.
It's like the new challenge that just in yourself
Yeah.
that you challenge yourself every day to like,
Right.
okay, well, how am I going to improve today?
Mhm.
And it's not an improvement necessarily like physical or
Yeah.
it's just an improvement of your mind.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to look at whatever situation?
Yeah.
I remember the other day I had a really bad, it's just a bad day, right?
Mm.
And couldn't sleep at all.
Mm.
And then I really had this moment of like, you know, I watched things to like about controlling your mind, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a moment they said like, you're going to have these mind storms.
Yeah.
So when I close my eyes, like there's just 1,000 thoughts. Like, you know, it's just like, and I really felt like when I looked at it in that realm, like I just felt like my mind was just spinning, right?
Yeah.
Just of this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem, not good enough, you know, not working on this enough, not, you know, you name it. It was just all just spinning like a tornado in my mind. Like I couldn't get any sort of calmness, no focus, no nothing.
Mm.
And the more and more I stood back from it, the more and more I'm like, okay, like this is what's happening. Like you're in this storm right now.
Mm.
Like, what is your best move right now?
Mm.
Like, and your best move is for one is to calm down, you know, calm the storm down. Like you're not going to make any good decisions in this storm. Like you don't even know which way's up right now. Like that's how chaotic this whole moment is. And so like you need to get a good night's sleep is what you need. So I really tried to focus on calming my mind and doing this. I didn't get a great night's sleep, but this is part of my thing of like, okay, but maybe next time I will be able to get a good night's sleep. You know what I mean? Not being hard on myself that, hey, you failed at this moment. Like, cause I was able to calm my mind down and I was able to like zone out from it and see kind of what's happening. But at the same time, like, I'm like, okay, Tim, like this is the first time you're recognizing this.
Yeah.
Don't be so hard on yourself that you're supposed to like have this mastery moment of like, I was calm and I this whole storm, I was able to like calm everything down and now be this like stoic man where I wasn't having these feelings anymore. Like, no, like I was going through it. This is like the beginning stages of it.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like excited me about it. Like, so I was kind of like, all right, like that is the test.
Yeah.
You know, of you claim to be all this, you know, either stoic or, you know, this mind controlling man, like you really failed that test. So get better.
Exactly.
Get better.
Yeah.
Get better. Like I'll start continuing to do this.
Yeah.
Like even when it's easy, do it. When it's hard, do it. Like all of these times are going to help build that time where, and this is where I think a lot of wisdom comes in. You know, it's people who've just gone through a lot of these mental storms, gone through a lot of these things.
And mindset too. Like
for
your perspective on it. I think a lot of other people would maybe take the negative route and be like,
oh, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Why do it? Like we said
But that
earlier.
is the easy route.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the easy route.
Yeah.
You know, having that negative mindset is the easy route because it takes the blame off of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, it's someone else did that. Or my childhood had this or this, you know, all these different things. Where the hard route is being like, damn all that. This is my fault.
Right.
Like, I'm in control.
Right.
I'm in control of this. How am I going to respond?
Right.
Like we can all come up with negative excuses of why we're F ups.
Yeah.
You know?
And the reality is too, like, you know, I recently, met someone new and been having conversations with them and, it makes me feel like, you know, I try to be empathetic towards people, you know, like, oh, they might have had a very rough upbringing and whatnot.
Yep.
But the reality is there's millions of people that have had the same type of upbringing or they've gone through something similar or some type of devastation in their life, some type of trauma. And I get it. Like, you know, be empathetic towards those people, be understanding.
Of
but at the
course,
same
yes.
time, like I feel like as a culture and as like a people and as American, like mindset nowadays is we kind of use that a little too much to cripple and like coddle the person.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's just like, listen, I get it. Like, I know you've been through it, but me being like, it's okay to like stay feeling that way is not going to help you.
No, exactly.
Like, it's like, dude, you're going to have to push through, man. You're going to have to figure it out. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you, but
yeah.
Work
right now.
like,
you
need to work. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my thing is like, cause I am a very empathetic person and I feel for people. I can't help it. Like if I meet somebody and they're like struggling, I'm like, I feel that pain. I'm like, man, dude, I'm sorry you're feeling that. Like it hurts me to see you hurt. But at the same time, also like, you know what? I went through something too. And me feeling that way is like, like focusing on that pain and focusing on that trauma did nothing for me, but keep me in that trauma. Exactly. It wasn't until I was like, dude, you need to buck up and get your ish together and put in the work.
No one's coming to save you.
No one,
no
one. Yeah.
And
so
it's everything. It really is a battle in your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really just boils down to that.
Do you think that happens? Do you think that it's like a personality thing and that kind of like allows us to segue into the next topic?
Definitely. It has a lot to do with personalities. Yeah. Like, so that's exactly what I was going to talk about. So yeah. Have you ever heard of like the color code or like the different 4 personalities?
So you gave me a little tease of it. It's the 4 that I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, it's sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and then phlegmatic.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, tell me about this.
Okay. So it's pretty interesting. So this is something I got into in my early 20s.
Okay.
And I find to be really, really interesting. I think it helps with sales, helps with relationships, helps with friendships, it helps with, father sons, helps with everything, any sort of dynamic. Is everyone has a personality, dominant and a secondary dominant, right?
Okay.
So you're going to have, like, imagine a square. I don't know what we got here that we can maybe look at. So if you're to imagine a square, right? So this would be like choleric.
Okay.
This would be sanguine. This would be phlegmatic, and this would be melancholy.
Okay.
So when we're on this, I am a choleric sanguine.
Okay.
Choleric is more of like a leadership.
Do you mind if I give the explanations real quick? Okay, so sanguine is the life of the party. Yep. Are they the glue or just, oh no. So yeah, life of the party. The choleric is alpha.
Yep.
Melancholic, the deep soul. And then phlegmatic
yep.
is the peacekeeper.
Yep.
Continue though.
Okay. So choleric is more of like the leadership roles, entrepreneurs, like more like the alpha.
The alpha guys, yeah.
Then you have your sanguines, which are more like your sales guys.
Okay.
Okay. More of your
extroverted, that kind of thing.
Extroverted. You typically wear bright colors.
Oh, okay.
Typically are not good at details at all.
Oh,
more of like the wing it kind of person.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So that's typically those 2 personalities, right?
Okay.
Phlegmatic is more of your diplomatic person. So they're the peacekeeper. They're the most balanced of all the personalities.
Really?
But the most confused of all the personalities because they see the other personalities and they envy those other personalities. Okay. Because it's like, oh, that person's so like, has such good leadership roles. It has such good this, they see the sanguine like, oh man, this person is, look how outgoing they are. I want to be that, and they're just not that naturally. They're more of like, they're a very balanced personality.
Do you feel like those are like more the introverted type of people?
No. I mean, they can be for sure. And then you have your melancholies, which are more of your introverts. So it's your business accountants.
Those are the more creative people?
Creative. I think
like artists, that kind of
artists,
thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Because even like actors, musicians,
right.
You see these people on stage and you think like they're the sanguines. They're like, oh, look at them up there getting all this attention.
Yeah.
All their performances are very, very rehearsed.
Yeah.
Right? They're very detailed.
Yeah. On
like when to hit that note. Stand-up comedians are usually melancholy.
Yeah.
They're those personalities because they know when to hit that line right at that moment, right? It's all about timing. It's all about like, they're typically the bodybuilders. Okay. They're the ones who meal prep the most. They're the ones who like, they're down to the details.
So melancholic is detailed.
Very, very detailed.
Really?
That's your accountants.
Okay. Got you.
So that's super detailed, right?
Okay.
Down to like the minutia of like the tiny, tiny little things they want to know about and they want to, it's part of their
understand it or whatever.
If you see a woman wearing like, she's got the jewelry, the hair, the dress, everything matches, everything is perfect. Cars matching, underwear drawers all folded perfectly. That's going to be a melancholy personality.
Okay.
Right. Your sanguines are going to be like, everything's just thrown into a drawer.
Okay.
Everything's kind of a mess. They're like, their cars are a mess. They don't really care about a lot of different things. It's going to typically be more of your sanguine personality.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
And so my point is, you're going to have a strong dominant one, and then you're going to have a secondary one.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I'm a choleric first.
Okay.
And then a sanguine second.
Okay.
So I'm good at sales. I'm good at winging it.
Yeah.
I'm not very keen on the details.
Okay.
For a lot of different things. I mean, certain things I will be, but that's just kind of because I have to, and you kind of grow up doing that. As you grow up, you kind of develop things that you have to develop.
Yeah. Right.
But my wife is a melancholy phlegmatic.
Okay.
Or even more so even a phlegmatic melancholy.
Okay. So what do you think is her primary?
I think her primary is phlegmatic.
Okay. Got you.
So what you'll find is you could be a choleric melancholy, or you could be a choleric sanguine.
You can't be
a choleric phlegmatic. So you can never go across the board.
Oh,
you can't be a go with the flow and a go with the flow and in control.
Yeah.
Just like you can't be a outgoing introvert. That is, they just don't go.
Yeah. It's like
right?
polar opposites.
So they're polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to be you are going to be attracted to your opposite. And this is where the opposite attraction typically comes into play. Okay. Because if you have two cholerics, you're going to be button heads.
Right.
You know what I mean? If both people are always wanting to be in control.
Yeah.
No one, and both people are no give.
Right.
You're guys going to butt heads.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're both like party animals.
Yeah.
And there's no balance in that, typically the place is going to be a mess. And you guys are going to, again, drive each other crazy. Everything is going to drive each other crazy.
Right.
If this one, like the diplomatic's like, where do you want to eat? No, where do you want to eat? No, where do you want to eat? Someone wants someone to say like this is where I want to eat.
Yeah.
They're going to get frustrated because they want to be led. Right. Right.
You said phlegmatic want to be led?
Yes.
Okay. Got you.
And then like the melancholies are kind of like, they want to be by themselves. They want to also be like these people, the sanguines will typically entertain the melancholies. Okay. Because they'll kind of pull the melancholy out and say, hey, come out with me. We're going to go have a good time. And then that person's going to have a good time. And that melancholy is also going to take the sanguine and be like, hey, relax a little bit. We don't need, and then it's going to bring them down a little bit. And they're going to like that opposite.
Gotcha.
In the personality.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what you'll see is in most relationships, you will see the opposites. Okay. In most relationships. Okay. As you get older, typically people start to like be more of the same. But as most younger relationships and younger people find themselves to be attracted to the direct opposite of what they are.
What do you think I am?
I think you are probably more of a phlegmatic melancholy.
You don't think sanguine with my sales?
You're very diplomatic. Okay. And you're pretty detailed.
But see, I was going to say this actually
I could be completely wrong.
No. But it's interesting you say that because I was going to say that you mentioned at one point you mentioned that like you can develop it. Like you maybe, because what I feel like is innately who I am as a person, especially in like my youth, I was not a very detailed person. But as I grew, and especially honestly, if I'm being completely honest, this guy on the book right here, he taught me to be more detailed. Right. His focus on detail made me focus on detail. Right. So I feel like now I'm detailed because of that. But like naturally who I was before, like I wasn't like ever like, oh, this, you know what I mean? I don't know. At least that's what it feels like. Yeah. But I thought you were going to say like sanguine for sure. Cause obviously like I'm pretty outgoing guy.
You're very outgoing. Yeah. No, I actually, for whatever reason, kind of like not necessarily forgot about that, but I guess I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. No, I could see that to be honest.
So what could wait? So
I think you're definitely phlegmatic.
Okay. And phlegmatic is the
peacekeeper. You are more diplomatic. Yeah, you don't want to ruffle feathers.
Yeah, I definitely don't.
Like that's a very big priority on your personality.
I just don't. I hate when people. I just want everyone to get along. Man.
Of course you do.
Yeah, and peacekeeper is pretty steady.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's going to be part of it. You know, and so you could be definitely I think a phlegmatic's probably your dominant.
Okay.
And then maybe it is the sanguine
Yeah.
is your secondary.
And you know what's funny you say is because you said phlegmatic is the most balanced,
It is,
right?
yes.
I actually, because when you said everything you just said right now, I feel like I have a little bit of each.
No, you will.
You know what I mean? Like
That's what that personality does.
Yeah.
It represents the other personality.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're in a role where someone needs to be a leader
Yeah.
and there's no other leaders around,
I'll step
if
up.
there's a sanguine phlegmatic, or a melancholy phlegmatic,
Yeah.
those primaries.
Yeah.
And then there's a phlegmatic melancholy or a phlegmatic sanguine, like where the phlegmatic's the primary.
Yeah.
They could be that leader
Right.
if needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's very uncomfortable for them. They don't really want to be in that role. Probably the most difficult role to be with is always going to be the choleric melancholy or the melancholic choleric.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason for them is they want to be in control, but they want to be also in control of the details, which is really difficult. So that's the micromanagers.
Right.
That's the do it my way.
Yeah.
Always have to do it my way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're not really
I know a
giving
couple
people
like
grace
that,
to like, hey, you know, they can figure it out. They're allowed to do it their way.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
Even though whether inefficient or not, whether it's good for that personality or not. No, it's my way, and this is how we're doing stuff.
Because it's fun. Again, it's funny you say this, and it makes me feel like it is very accurate. Then is because my definition of a leader is someone that can also follow. Good leaders know when to follow, and they know when to lead.
No doubt.
And that's kind of how I view myself. Is like if I'm in a situation and like you're more knowledgeable of the situation and you're better equipped to lead us, I'm like, lead it.
Right.
Because why would I step in and say I should lead this if I know I'm not up to the task?
Right.
But if there is a situation where it's like, hey, yo, who's going to step up? It's like, okay, I'll step up.
Yeah, you can
I'll
do it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I do feel like that is, you know, if I'm being honest, like I feel like I have that trait as far as like, hey, I'll take a step back because I know this person's better equipped for the position.
Exactly.
But then if it does need to step if someone does need to step up, then I will step up. You know what I mean? So, but this is really interesting because you know me, I love personalities and like psychology and stuff like that too. And I've seen other variations because speaking of sales and like, you know, obviously.
Oh, there's tons of different variations.
Yeah. I was kind of mentioning this to you was, I had a sales position not too long ago, like a year or so, a few years ago actually. And they brought in a guy that was like a sales consultant, whatever, and he was telling us that there are like 4 personality types for consumers, for like clients.
Yes.
Like the main 2 that I remember was like a driver who is a person that's like, you know, hello, you know, thank you for calling, whatever, how can I help you? And they're like, hey, I just need to know, bottom line, what's the price? I don't need to hear the spiel. Like they're that type of person.
Right.
And then there's the person that's more cautious, like, hey, I want to hear your guys' options, but I do want to do my own research and like really figure it out. And then there's like the emotional one that's like, I'm really struggling. Please help me. Like you guys have no idea how much this would help, that kind of thing. And then there's a 4th or whatever. But, you know, it's just so interesting because these things are pretty accurate. Like,
they're very accurate.
They're obviously generalized. I understand that. They're not like, oh, you're for sure this and this.
Yeah, no. Everybody's everything.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to just have a percentage of everything, right?
But you show some dominance in one area.
You're going to show a dominance in one area compared to others, right?
Right.
And so you might have a dominant, a secondary, a third, and a 4th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are more tests out there that have like 16 personalities.
Oh, wow.
What that really does is it's like these 4 represent this corner, these 4 represent this corner, these 4, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit broader.
Yeah.
But the reality is you're not going to have this 4 and this 4.
Yeah.
You know, the choleric and the phlegmatics, these aren't going to be the same.
Yeah.
You know, they're still, this is a little bit easier to comprehend.
Yeah.
The color code book is a really cool book.
You should bring it next time.
Super recommend everybody read that.
Yeah.
So the choleric is red, the sanguine yellow, phlegmatic blue, and white, and then the melancholy is blue.
Got you.
So like it's just a same language, just used in colors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool. But also with like sales, like this is one of the things, like, so if someone comes in or a client you're dealing with and you see that what they're dressed like, right?
Yeah.
You see that she's a woman or a man who's like, you know, everything is pristine, right? So you're going to be like, okay, most likely this person's a melancholy. So your language for that individual, if you're trying to sell that individual is, you know, how this the details of the product. Like, oh yeah, this is a, 500 thread count on this, this thing, this has this type of specs on the motor.
That's how you appeal to them.
So yeah, they're going to really be interested in those super specific details, right? This was made in Italy. This was done with this. This was done with that. You're going to put that aspect to it, and immediately they're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
If you're giving them a quote on something or a bid on something,
right,
break down like every little detail.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh dang.
Yeah.
I really like this. I like this guy. Because you're speaking their language, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Then you get into like the sanguines where it's just like, dude, do you know how many people are going to look at you wearing that?
Right. Like status is more important than that.
Yeah. This is going to look so good on you.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like they're going to be sold on the
prestige of it.
Perception and the prestige of what this product's going to give them.
Got you.
Because they're all about like
status.
Yeah. Or this, do you know how much fun you're going to have with this?
Right.
Do you know, using those type of languages with that.
Right.
That's also going to help them out a lot. Phlegmatic's going to be just really more of like, oh, this is going to, you're going to have a good time. You're not going to have to do much. You're going to be able to just relax and things are going to be calm. They're going to be talk about peaceful things with that individual. Right.
Okay.
And so that is a way of like,
what about with choleric? Yeah. How do you
that's
choleric?
more of like a leadership role. Like, all leaders wear these type of things, or these leaders are, you're a boss, right?
Right.
Like,
you're a trendsetter, right?
Yeah. You gotta, this is going to be right up your alley.
Gotcha.
Typically the cholerics are going to be the ones who are kind of like, hey, what's the price? They know what they want before, they don't even need to be sold.
So
on.
they're like a driver.
Yeah. They're
like
the driver.
The client driver.
Right. Yeah. They're like, look, what's the price?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
What's the bottom line?
So they're a little bit harder of a sale.
Yeah.
They're going to be more of the sale that just comes in, knows what they want and gets it.
Okay. Got you.
Right.
Got you.
All the personalities can also have that.
Yeah.
But they're going to be the ones that are you're going to be much less likely to sell them because they're going to be the ones is like, every sale is made, whether you make the sale or not. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? That type of thing.
If they're going to buy it, they're going to buy it.
Yeah. They're the ones who are driving that conversation. And they're the ones who are like, they've already made up their mind if they're buying or not before they even walk in.
Right.
They're going to be a much harder sale.
Yeah.
Or an easier sale.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, 100%.
But I've noticed that, it's hard to always like be aware of that. Like if if your waitress comes over and you notice that, again, whatever the personality type she is, you can kind of recognize like who that person is and be like, oh, I could say things to get a little bit more, preferential treatment
out of them,
or whatever out of these things.
Yeah.
There's a difference in what is it? Man, it's not manipulation. It's
persuasion.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Right. So if you learn the art of persuasion, that is great.
Yeah.
Right. But if you learn the art of manipulation, that is bad.
Yeah.
Right. Because persuasion kind of is a form of manipulation.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
It's the politically correct term, I feel like, for manipulation.
So you kind of have to be aware of like, what are you doing?
Right.
The more and more you learn these type of things and put them into practice.
Yeah.
The more and more you have to be aware of like, am I being this to be manipulative?
Right.
Or am I using this to be persuasive?
Exactly.
And, and that's something you just kind of have to check in yourself.
Yeah.
Like
for
what
sure.
you're trying to
I think that goes back to your like moral compass and your
no
ethics
doubt,
as a person. Yeah.
But I also recognize like most people, since you are a phlegmatic, which I think you are, even if you're not, you could be a sanguine and,
Can that be a combo, phlegmatic sanguine?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
You just can't be a phlegmatic choleric.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's like, I can't be the peacekeeper and be like, yo, we're doing it my way.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got you.
So that's like where you run into it.
Right.
But if let's say that is your dominant and I'm choleric, this is one reason why me and you get along well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because we kind of bring this balance.
Right.
out.
Right.
You kind of like let me take the lead.
Yes.
And you are, in the background saying like, yeah, he's got that.
Yeah.
And I'm here and I'm adding my points as needed. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
If we were both cholerics, we would both we'd be bumping heads on certain things.
No, for sure. I mean?
Yeah. Even if like you notice, like if I find myself in a room with another choleric, we can get along great. I'm not saying we can't. But sometimes we'll argue just to argue.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just for no other reason other than like there's a power dynamic going on.
It's
here,
like ego and
all that kind of stuff comes into play, right? And so that's one reason why me and you will get along
Right.
great.
Yeah.
You know? And you'll typically find that in most of your relationships.
Yeah.
You probably find the same, like this is why most people date the same person, the same personality type.
Yeah.
Even though they're finding a completely different person,
Yeah.
they're typically dating the same type of person.
Right.
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 Unless you really recognize things that you're like, hey, like you got a bad picker and you're constantly picking like,
Yeah.
you know, huz.
Yeah.
That's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
But if you really realize like, or just a personality type that's just, you're finding that you're kind of growing out of, or you're recognizing that that's been a problem.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of change yourself to attract something else. Right. But at the same time, you're going to constantly be attracted to people who are kind of your opposites.
Yeah. Yeah. This is I love this topic. I say we actually pick it up next week. I know we got a little bit of a time constraint this week. Before we do take off though, I just want to give another quick little shout out to Lost Status, Dre Franco. I appreciate you, brother. By the way, if you are a true supporter of my friend Dre, don't be asking for handouts. Go show support. If you actually really support your boys, you're not going to say, give it to me for free. You're going to give him full price because you want to see your boy win. Do you agree with that?
100%.
So if you're a true supporter, man, stop fronting and acting like you're a true supporter and you ain't willing to buy one shirt or one hat or something like that. So just wanted to show you some love, Dre. Shout out to Last Status. It's going to be big. I mean, and especially I hate people that are like, bro, I was hoping you wouldn't even buy a shirt back then. And you trying to, now that we big and blown up, you're the day one supporter. No, you're not. So just shout out to Lost Status and look for more to come in coming weeks with Clearview's podcast. We're out.